Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot. Now, I know I said I wouldn't be doing any more readings this month, but I have a few spare hours, so hopefully I'll be able to do all 12 for the Lunar Galactic download for this month. The moon will be passing across 16, 17 degrees Sagittarius on the 22nd, which also happens to be the fall equinox. So when I saw that, I thought, oh no, I can't miss that one. Now, the equinox, as you probably know, fall equinox, autumnal equinox, equal hours of light and dark, seeking a point of balance. Interesting, since it is also the point of going into Libra, the scales. Well, that's probably where the symbolism came from in the first place. Now, listening to the various astrologies, Chris Witecki on his Namaste Today, shared on my Facebook page, link down below, of course, talks about the sun ingress into Libra, about coming into a new relationship with ourselves, whereas Astrology with Heather also said seeking to come into balance. Not necessarily finding that balance. I mean, hey, have you seen the world? But seeking to come into that balance, making the effort to move towards it. Now, this is also the Feast of Mabon, which, although people talk about the Wheel of the Year being an old thing, which it is, Mabon's recognition only seems to derive from the 1970s onwards. But anyway, he was a child of the light and son of Mother Earth, I think, if I remember correctly. I did print some notes out, but they're over there. Now, this is a time for reaping, for the second harvest, the fruit harvest, and a time for review for everything that you started putting into action in the spring equinox and in the early side of the year. Well, it's also a good point about the fall equinox is Jupiter has just changed to go direct, so it's signifying a good change in in consciousness and confidence, maybe, but a good change in consciousness. All in all, pretty good omens, pretty good symbols. Now, considering that with the Mars-Saturn square, Mars-Pluto square, Mars-Jupiter square, Mercury, T-square, Mars and Saturn, that doesn't figure, does it? But it's Mercury's coming into T-square of something or other, and I'm sure Mars and Saturn are involved there, but maybe Saturn must be T-squaring. But anyway, moving on. Watch the Astrology with Heather video for more details on that. Again, link down below on my Facebook page, link down below. But I want to look at the symbol for 0 degrees Libra. Now, the Chandra symbol is, and not at all stereotypical, a group of fat Italian ladies preparing bread. Now, it says this is an archetypal, universal and diffuse allegiances, activities and realms of experience, becoming camouflaged perfectly by adopting a persona that is wondrously engaging and easy connected with. So that does indicate an energy to put people at ease and to start rebuilding relationships if they've been destroyed. However, the interpretation goes on, putting it on a bit heavy, thick grease paint. You exult in getting away with seeming to be the world's most anonymous person. The disguise can stick to the face. Overt consciousness awash in mass identification. At times you are able to penetrate through and find open possibilities, but you are primarily engrossed in the outer and alive to the advertised sensations of what it is like to be popular, well received and simply welcome wherever you go as part of the mix, and no problem at all. So, bit double-edged. Well, to me, I think that's a little bit double-edged about that whole subsuming yourself in mass identification. But if you're trying to smooth over any divisions, then that's quite useful. Now, the Omega symbol, which I really like a lot more, is an apothecary shop in which herbal concoctions and other medicines appear as needed. So this is talking about desire and need combined with pure intent, creating their own fulfillment spontaneously. And the oracle of this degree, which explores it more, where is it? So, and I love this little story, an alchemist invented an apothecary shop which mirrored completely the realm of disease. Anyone who entered it immediately reflected their essence onto the mind of the shop, which then generated the herbs and compounds as an echoing of felt needs. The shop held all of the answers and solutions that one could ever desire. Now, what was curious was how few people came to the shop. And of those few who came and took home the medicines, how many of the medicines were placed on a shelf somewhere and forgotten about? So the shop, always desirous of improving the potency and efficacy of its products, began focusing on other medications such as songs, weather and memory clusters, which is harvested out of people and distilled into custom-made homeopathic essences. Illusions, properly selected and harvested, were also found to be highly salutary. Well, salutary I would have thought meant to say hello, but I assume that means some form of healing. That sounds perfect and a little bit double-edged. Hopefully it is reflecting your actual need and not what you think your needs are, because let's face it, we're all on this, if you're on that self-exploratory trip, we're all well aware of the difference between the two. So, to the cards, this is going to be a general reading for your star sign. This is a bulk introduction, as ever. There will be a timestamp down below, so once you've seen the introduction once, you don't have to watch it again. And I advise that you look at your sun, your moon, and your rising signs. Particularly, I would say, on this one, your moon, since we are talking about seeking balance, and the first place to seek balance is within your feelings, because if you don't get the balance there, you're not going to get the balance anywhere else. So as a general reading rules apply. You know the script here, you know, roles can be reversed if someone else appears. It's an oracle card driven reading, so you can ask a question beforehand. I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to give you an answer in any form that can relate to the question, but we're looking at the energies coming in. This is the model, and some astrologer friends of mine have contested this, but basically this is tarot, not astrology. But looking at what energies coming from galactic center are filtered by the moon and how they can affect us this season, especially with it being fall equinox. Especially with Jupiter just going direct. There is quite a challenging month ahead for us astrologically, but it looks like the fall equinox energies can really give us a springboard to hurtle through it and take advantage of the challenges that come to us, rather than just going, no, 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 no more, no more. Although, if you find yourself huddling in a corner rocking and saying, no more 2020 please, I don't blame you. Won't get a lot done, but I don't blame you. But try not to do that, because hey ho, we have got to make it to the end of the year somehow, you know. Even if my favourite election bumper sticker so far is Giant Asteroid 2020. So, yeah, comment down below. Like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Join the Facebook page, because if you're a Facebook person, you know, social dilemma notwithstanding, because I don't just post my videos, I post videos from the astrologers, the various, you know, astrology weather reports, Achita Bava, Astrology with Heather, Ksenia Moore, astrology podcast. Now there's always a good investment. It's normally about 2.5 hours long. Rick Levine, Astrology Hub. Can't think of any more right now, but I know that there's oodles more that I watch, but I want to get on with the cards. So let's bring them up. And welcome Gemini Rising and Gemini Moon, if you've just joined us after the timestamp. Now there's a number of messages here. One is keep going. Keep going on whatever it is that you have been trying to build together. It's almost like you're at a precipice and that you need to move forward. 2, cheer up, mate. You know, there's we have dark thoughts behind a mask and a consciousness of lack out of the quantum oracle, which is making me think that there's some way that you need to move forward, and you're well aware that you need to move forward. We have the choices card here. It's like, do I do it or do I not do it? I have been working towards this for so long, but the next move is mine. Do I do it or not? Should I do it? Because when all said and done, I'm not worthy of it. I'm useless. People aren't seeing the real me. I'm just going along on autopilot. I haven't got everything that I need to go for it. Nonsense. A lot of it's nonsense. You have been working towards whatever it is that you've been working towards for a reason. And now you have to bite the bullet and say, okay, world, here is what I'm doing. So Aries and Taurus, they're still discovering that process. You've done that bit. You're already gone through the process of deciding what you're going to do. All you've got to decide now is that you're going to do it. So from the Moonology Oracle, we have your hard work is paying off. Be bold and make the first move. So something that you have been working towards for a while, but now it involves you reaching out, presenting it to the world, finding an investor, telling somebody what you've been up to, whatever it is. But there's nerves in this. There's like, will I be accepted? Well, am I getting myself into some form of morass? That's the... What doors am I opening here? What mess am I going to be getting myself into? Now, you answer me this question. Do you love yourself more by going ahead with it? Or do you love yourself more by not going ahead with it? Now, if by not going ahead with it is the more love option, which I doubt, then why was you doing all this work in the first place? You need to have a serious talk to yourself. I personally think that going ahead with whatever it is that you've been working towards and taking that step. So it is some form of, almost like you've got to overcome some form of social anxiety or some form of nervousness, some form of, do I dare tell them? Do I dare approach them? Do I dare reveal this? Now, this could be on a personal level, or this could be, hello world, here's my new invention for an energy-free car. You know, so, something that will grab the headlines. Could be on either end of that scale. But somewhere there's something that you've been working towards, and now you've hit a brick wall until you turn around and tell somebody what it is you're doing. That's it, what it is you're doing. You can tell them why you're doing it if you want, but what's more important is what it is you're doing. Now, we have from the Making Magic deck, on target. This has been the right thing for you to do. And I almost feel that you have created what you have created has created a momentum. Now, it's either you carry on with that momentum or you jump off and say goodbye to the whole thing. And that just seems weird. Now we have the Dance with Life card that says do something to change your energy. And so I think that is this choice that you make of, do I go forward to somebody else and say, here's my idea, product, service, change of lifestyle, whatever, and you see what they say. For some reason you need to tell them this. So if it's an investor, that makes sense. If it's a partner, and you're wanting to make a change in lifestyle. That makes sense. Might simply be having to tell somebody what you've been up to and what you're going to be up to, because, hey, they might need to know for some reason. And I feel like you might have been keeping it secret, because that a fiery climax approaches. When I was shuffling, if you saw my shuffle video that was here earlier during my intro, the fiery climax, if I remember correctly, was the one that was face down. So preempt it, take charge of it. But Shatael, the angel of silence, was also there for Taurus. And the silence of Shatael is something that is overwhelming. It is something that will touch and redefine everything in your awareness. So there is some form of, I'm not going to say change, some form of overwhelming force, which I believe you are the one that is generating. It is, you have generated an overwhelming force that you yourself have to submit to. Rahael, love and submission. You have to submit to your own plan. But just because your plan is now about to take you out of your own comfort zone, it's do or die, really, isn't it? You know, you either move forward the way you're supposed to move forward, that involves that presentation, revelation, whatever it is that, you know, that you need to go to somebody and overcome some form of nerves, some form of social anxiety, some form of, maybe even with all this, I haven't got enough, I can't do it, I'm not worthy. Some form of lack of confidence that you have to overcome. Some form of lack of faith. Lack of faith both in what you have been trying to build and that the world will support it. Let's see what the tarot have got to say with this. Because it's a really, really clear message. Do it or give up. You know, do or die. In fact, that's what I think that's what I am going to call the reading. Do or die. All right. So you have got the strength. Ah, that's sweet. You have got the strength to carry on forward with this, but obviously you do need to make a change. Okay, let's see what this one. And it is make a change of you taking action at the right time. Now, I want to say that the right time is now. That's it. There's no more putting it off. It's ready. You have to take your chances. But you will find, now I haven't talked about Venus. You will find as you move ahead, those last bits that are making you go, oh, what about this? What about that? What about the other? I haven't got this information. I haven't got that information. I haven't got this skill. I haven't got this sway. I haven't got this influence. Don't worry. It will turn up. But the only way you can reach out and grasp it is to start that process of the revelation, the unveiling, whatever that may be. And it's almost like, oh, you don't want to make this choice. It's like, can I not just go and work on it some more in private where nobody can see me? No, you can't. You've got to actually get on with it now. You have to have clarity of what your goal is, which, to be honest, I think you have had clarity of what your goal is, and you do have clarity of what your goal is. The lack of clarity is whether you are going to achieve that goal or not, or whether you are going to take the next step, whatever the next step is, that grand unveiling. But it's almost like, yeah, choice time's here, and I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. But if you are following your passion, if you sign up to yourself, if you sign up to the idea that you have been working towards, then, well, you have no choice. It is an end to the torment. It's an end to the nerves. It's like pre-stage nerves, pre-performance nerves, for example. You can be crippled by pre-performance nerves, but once you're on stage, that's it, you're on stage. Full stop. There's no escaping it. You have to carry on. You have to perform. You have to do it. It's either that or just stand there like a quivering wreck, you know, so you have to do it. And you need to push yourself into that point of having to do it, because you know it's time. It's time to get on with it, and you will have good results. You will actually be nurtured in maintaining your goal, maintaining your target, because this is only one step, but this is the public step. You're moving from the private to the public. Whether you are just telling one person or the entire world, it is now no longer even just yours. It's not something that you can hide away somewhere. But that's a really, really nice message. Now, I did say about Lady Vince that as you are committed to this, the understanding of how to move forward will come along, and you'll be able to fight a lot of these more negative thoughts, more, how can I put it? The nerves, the insecurities, the I'm not worthy, I can't do this, all those sort of things. I ain't got enough. You've got plenty. You've got a dream that's growing and the authority to give that dream. So it's not just, once you go from that private to public space, as I say, it's not just yours, but that also is a good thing, because it means there's people to support you in what it is that you are doing, and you will be surprised as long as you stay by Now, this was the second time of me filming this bit. The first time lasted 1 minute because I suddenly started talking to Taurus, and it's like, no, you're a Gemini. And here we have the Hierophant card, the Taurus card. Here again, that Taurian energy is really important here. I'm not sure why. Apart from maybe take the stubbornness of the bull and use it. You've done all this work so far. Keep going. You are on target. The most loving thing that you can do for yourself and for others, I think, is carry on in what it is that you've already been working towards in private. But you can't stay in private with it for any longer. You have to reveal it to the world. As I say, whether it's one person or the entire internet, you know, there's you have to move forward. Yeah, you don't want to do it, but get over it, Gemini. You're going to do fine. Just stop letting your darker thoughts, your insecurities run away with you. Because given half a chance, I'd love to. But why give them that power? Okay, so I hope that means something to you, Gemini. It's a really nice message. Comment down below if it means anything. Like, share, subscribe, obviously. Your next readings will probably be your monthlies, I would imagine. All right, cheers.